My name is Bishop James McDaniel. I am president of the board at MEOC, Metro East Organizing Coalition. Around 2018, I had the privilege of meeting with Gerard and Pastor Rita, and we discussed the need for some kind of movement within the city of East St. Louis, and we kind of gelled and started there. I believe my primary responsibility is to make sure I can assist the CEO to lessen the burden on her as far as meeting governance and cohesion in the board, whereas she can focus her time on more of the day-to-day operations. I pastor a church in the south end of East St. Louis, whereby we have an outreach that MEOC has assisted in. We've done Day in the Park, where MEOC serve as a conduit to supply the playground material and also some of the educational assistance that the children need in the community. I also serve as a board member. I formerly served as a board member with the Clyde Jordan Food Bank that served food for the community. I'm currently involved with another organization that train leaders, both faith-based and community-based leaders. I teach classes on finance, teach classes on public speaking, and we are currently starting a mentor program with men. That's some of our work. What excites me the most, or what stands out the most, is MEOC's visibility. There are a lot of organizations that have so-called great agendas, but to actually see them visible in the community, visible on crime scenes, visible in the hospitals, visible with grieving families, mothers, fathers, children, that stands out the most to me. When MEOC addresses racial inequality and mass incarceration, things like that, it kind of put a spark on the faith leaders, because we are so used to just focusing on, the Bible and trying to build people spiritually, when there's so much going on in the natural realm that we never address. So this gives us another perspective, other avenues that we should be addressing, and MEOC has served as a means whereby we can bring faith-based leaders together and show them and teach them that we need to be more involved with, number one, that racial inequality is real, and there are avenues that we can help address those realities rather than just being in our pulpits concentrating on spirituality. Formed a group of clergy.
Leaders Roundtable.
Right, the Leaders Roundtable, whereby Faith Leaders Roundtable, where we come together, discuss real life issues, and try to get the input on the other clergy leaders as to how we can best address those issues. Fortunately, we've got some great leaders who supply us with a lot of valuable information, not just locally, but on a national scale, and that broadens our perspective as to how it has been done and what we can do to kind of facilitate those same changes in this region. MEOC has engaged in the chaplaincy, which enables us to kind of be out there on the front line to kind of meet families in the initial stage of grieving. In addition to that, we do the peace walks. We engage in community outings. We've supplied picnics for the children. And all of this, in my opinion, has enhanced our visibility with the community, has allowed them to see that we are not just concerned about being another organization, but being an organization that actually impacts change and improvement. Our people need to see us more than on Sunday mornings. And the peace walks allow not just adults, but children to see us out there being concerned, showing them that we are engaged in the same fight that they're fighting. So to me, it's very important that the peace walks focus on hotspot areas where we know that crime rates are high, where there have been a large number of incidents where there has been murders and where there's been molestations. And we try to get involved with those communities to show them that we are genuinely concerned about the crime rate and doing what we can to attract not just others but law enforcement as well, that we need to be focusing on these areas because we realize from the data that crime normally is focused on just a few people in certain areas, and we're trying to address those areas. We've gotten great feedback because these are people we know, and a lot of our children grew up with them. There in the John DeShields, there was a young man who I coached as a child, and now to see him growing up with children, he came to us personally and said, "We're glad to see you all out here. You're doing great work, and whatever I can do to help, I'm available."